Hello and welcome to another Baldy Tim's Reviews, and today I am going to be reviewing a brand new camera, or camcorder should I say, the Sony MC88, which is a fairly newly out camcorder. I think it came out probably about this time last year, mid 2019. I bought this in mid 2020. So I've got the box here, bought it from a place called Wex Electrical in England. They did me a very good deal. I think they were selling it for more or less £1,400, just a shade under, and we did a bit of dealing, wheeling and dealing, and I ended up getting it for just a shade under £1,200. So it's well worth negotiating on price sometimes. But anyway, let's unbox this and see what you get with an MC88. Let's see what we've got here. Well, first we get some super bubble wrap. Let's take all that out. Oh. There we go. Sony HXR-MC88, and that is what it looks like. It's actually very similar to the Sony NX80, I think it is, which it's pretty much got all the features except it doesn't do 4K. This is just HD only, up to 1080p, which on the face of it might seem like an odd decision to make, when a lot of people think 4K is the future, but I don't really need 4K. HD is perfectly fine for me, and it's only 2/3 price. The NX80 and the other ones in that kind of bracket would have been best part of £2,000. So, and also HD it's a lot easier and quicker to edit and to shoot generally. So that is why I went for this. So anyway, let's start unboxing, see what you get inside. So let's unbox this. So you get, looks like you get the, what's that then? You get a disc with various things on, maybe instructions and perhaps the software to do editing on, whatever it's called, instruction booklet, warranty card. So you get one disc, the warranty thing, card, some various other bits and pieces here. I'm not going to go through all that at the moment. And you've got I think some information about some Sony software by the looks of it, editing software. And we have operator's guide. It's always nice to see a proper paper one rather than on the disc or having to go online to get your instructions. So that's a benefit. And Sony solid state memory camcorder, so it means takes SD cards, I guess. Got to read this before using the unit, so I better do that. So let's dive in deeper. So we've got, this is the handle. So you get the top mounting handle with the XLR inputs and all the sound stuff there. In a future video I may well go into this in a bit more detail, but this is just really an unboxing video. So we get that. Let's put that there, down on the floor. So we get a power lead. Looks like more of a European one, that. Hopefully there's a UK one in here as well. That is the box. That is the charging cable. And looks like we've got the lens hood in there, and battery is in there. So yeah, batteries in there. So let's put that down there. Well, I'm getting a bit worried here because I can't see a UK power cable in here, so that's going to be a bit of a drawback. And there's the beast itself. So that is Sony. See, it says HD there, and that's what it looks like. So it's a proper little professional camcorder. So yeah, that's a little bit of a worry because I haven't got a UK UK plug, so I'm gonna have to sort of look into that a bit more. But that is what you get in the box with a Sony MC88 camcorder. So we're about half an hour later now on this Sony MC88 unboxing, etc. And yeah, had a little fly in the ointment. We only got this sort of cable, charging cable with European plug on it. Having said that, it's got this kind of connection here, which that goes into the charger. And you've probably seen these everywhere. They're quite a standard fitment. I could have probably got one of these off of Amazon for not very much at all. But as an electrician, all I did is just chop that off and wired it into a UK plug. So there we go, that's already in there. And I tested it on the camera. And it doesn't plug directly into the camera anyway, it plugs into the transformer, which I made sure was rated to UK as well as European power, because it would be, because we're all harmonised with Europe as far as power is concerned. So I knew that was going to be okay anyway, an okay modification to do. And I wouldn't recommend anyone else do it. I've only done it because I'm a qualified electrician. And I've tested it and it's begun to charge the camera fine. So that's just a little problem sorted out. So yeah, that was a little bit of a fly in the ointment, but we soon got around it. I actually did go to Wex Photo Video to tell them about the problem, that I only got this UK supplied camcorder with a European plug, and then I sort of had the idea that I could just do the modification myself, and the guy immediately refunded me £80. So it brought an already decent deal that I got from them down another £80. So you can't sort of argue with their customer service from Wex Photo Video in England. And yeah, I've got around the problem, and the camera's charging up. So when it's charged up in an hour or two's time, I'll fire it up and you can see it working, and then I'll just give you my initial thoughts. So the initial thoughts of the Sony MC88, I think it's going to be everything I need. It seems to be a really solid, well built, easy to use camera, just what I'm looking for, with all the features, things like sort of dual memory card slots, which is very important because I want to be putting a backup recording as well as the main recording on my interviews. It's got apparently really solid autofocus, unlike some other cameras I've had. It's got, obviously being a camcorder, unlimited recording times. It's got the twin XLR audio inputs as well as a 3.5mm audio input as well. So I can do everything I need to audio wise without separate recorders and everything else, which is just going to keep the workflow really nice and simple and clean and easy and quick to do, which again is what I'm looking for. And yeah, I'm being a camcorder, it's got the bigger screen on it compared to DSLRs and mirrorless cameras, so it's going to be easier to check my focus, check my composition, exposure, sound levels and all the rest of it. So I think it's going to work really well. Now, up to now, I've been sitting here just using my phone. So I'm going to switch over to the Sony now, and we'll see what the differences are. So let's get over onto the other camera. So we're now filming on the Sony MC88 camera, and this is a comparison between this and my smartphone. So I can see myself coming into focus there. So hopefully if I just press on my face, I can see the green square following me. So as I move around a little bit, hopefully I'm not going in and out of focus too much, staying pretty well in focus. So let's hopefully I won't have to worry about focus too much at all. So this is testing the autofocus on the MC88. I'm also speaking as quietly, very quietly, because although you can adjust the sound levels easily on the XLR outputs at the top, I've just got this lav mic plugged into the 3.5mm jack, and I haven't yet found out how you adjust the mic levels on that. I'm just speaking as quietly because I can see it's going up into the red, even though I'm speaking really, really quietly. So if you wonder why I'm speaking quietly, that's the reason. I've got it on manual exposure at the moment, so we've got 0 dB gain, we've got it on f3.7 aperture, 50th of a second on the shutter speed. And what I might do now is turn it into full auto. So we've got auto white balance, auto exposure, and see how we compare. So I'm going to switch that over now. Okay, we're on full auto now. Exposed me a little bit too much on my face. I'm just looking at the screen there, but it might be a bit different story once I've got it in post-production. Yeah, I think I'd rather keep it on manual exposure, because when I'm doing my interviews I'll have the lights there anyway, so the exposure will stay constant. So once I've got it set, I won't have to really adjust it at all. But it would be nice if the autofocus works nicely and behaves itself without wobbling around too much or anything, doing anything weird. So if my face is looking nicely focused all the time, or most of the time on this, I'll be happy. So I think I'm going to work on manual exposure and autofocus. Oh, and one other thing, I've literally just been shooting this for a couple of minutes and spent a few minutes beforehand setting up, and I started with 100% battery. Luckily it does tell you the percentage, which is nice, very nice touch, but it's literally gone down from 100 to 75. So a quarter of the battery has gone already, and I've literally only had this on for about 20 minutes, if that, maybe 15 minutes. So I can tell that the battery is going to be used fairly quickly. So I'm going to have to either make sure I've got this plugged into mains power, which you can do with this, or I'll have to make sure that I've got plenty of batteries to hand whenever I'm doing an interview. Okay, so I'm still on the MC88 camcorder. I've now put it onto mains power, so I've plugged in the charging cable into the DC input and plugged into the mains on the other end, and the battery life symbol has disappeared, so I presume it's sensed that it's got sort of constant power. So I was getting a little bit alarmed how quickly the power is going down. So if you're going to be doing interviews with this, what I'd suggest is hopefully almost all the time having power to hand, and then just using the battery, or have a couple of batteries at hand just to use in the event of a power cut or other emergencies, or if you're in a situation where you really can't plug in. But I think I'm going to be in a situation most of the time where I can probably plug in.
So if I just have a couple of batteries to hand, yeah, this should work really nicely. So that's just a little lesson I've learned there about this camera. I've also switched it back to sort of manual exposure, still on autofocus. So hopefully that's still tracking me. It looks like it is. So I think I'm going to have a look at this in post-production, but from what I'm seeing on the little screen up there, it's looking pretty good. So now I've worked out, or I'm gradually working out how I'm going to use this camera, I think I'm going to get on with this really well, and it's going to be just what I need. So anyway, let's get back to the normal filming on the smartphone, and I'll wrap things up. So that's been a quick overview and unboxing video, an initial review of my brand new Sony MC88 camcorder, and upon first impressions it's looking like it's going to be just what I need to do my interview work and other filming work that I'm hoping to do in the future. And I'll be doing more videos in the future on an ongoing basis to give further thoughts, but initial thoughts, yeah, I think the MC88 is going to be a fantastic camcorder for my needs. So do I recommend it? Yeah, initial thoughts are that it's going to be just the job. Really happy with it. So that's been another Baldy Tim's Reviews. Thanks for watching.